sparked an old debate, a battle of names, a clash of identities. At the center of it is the legacy of Karnataka's icons versus what critics of the Karnataka government have described as minority appeasement. At the annual feast of St. Mary's Basilica on the 7th of September, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah announced that the new Shivaji Nagar metro station could be renamed after St. Mary. The Basilica, which is a 140-year-old landmark, is one of the city's oldest churches, and Archbishop Reverend Dr. Peter Machado himself had requested the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah for the honour. But the announcement has triggered a firestorm, while supporters say that naming the station after St. Mary recognizes heritage, inclusivity and the area's multicultural identity. Critics have described this as appeasement politics. The BJP MLA Basangauda Patil Yatnal strongly opposed the proposal and argued that the station already carries the legacy of Shivaji, and Bengaluru's true metro visionary was the Kannada icon Shankar Nag. He is the man who's credited with dreaming of Bengaluru's metro back in the 1980s. The BJP is accusing the Congress now of vote bank appeasement and minority politics.
Metro railway station issue ಮಾತನ್ನ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ನಿಜವಾದ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ನಿಜವಾದ ಈ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿಯವರು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಶಿಫಾರಸು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನ.
Well, let me go across to my colleague Neha Hebale, who's been reporting on this story. Neha, a couple of questions. One is, of course, that Mr. Basangauda Patil Yatnal, who is part of the BJP, has been at loggerheads with his own party on multiple occasions on different issues. So can his view be taken as the BJP's party stand? That's question number one. And secondly, as far as Shivaji Nagar is concerned, in Bengaluru, those familiar with the area would know that this is also a predominantly Muslim locality. So where's the question of any minority appeasement or Muslim appeasement in this particular instance when the metro station is sought to be renamed after St. Mary?
Well, Siddharth, first of all, of course, given that Basangauda Patil Yatnal was expelled from the BJP for his anti-party remarks, it's unlikely that, of course, his statement here, or his word here would be the party's official stand. Now, of course, talking about the entire controversy itself, the fact that, we're here in Shivaji Nagar right now as we bring you this ground report. We've been speaking with many people across this area, and most of who have echoed the sentiment that renaming, or rather naming this upcoming metro station here as, St. Mary's metro station should not be a problem. Of course, just to give you an idea, this is the way.
Right, we're having some problem there with Neha's audio. We'll try to patch her on the line once again to get a perspective of what the mood on the ground is with respect to the suggestion that has come from Mr. Siddaramaiah about naming that metro station after St. Mary. Now, the Bharatiya Janata Party, however, has continued to criticize the Karnataka government on this. Here's a response from the national spokesperson of the BJP, Mr. Shehzad Poonawala.
पर जिस प्रकार से यहाँ पर अपीजमेंट पॉलिसी दिखाते हुए किसी कन्नडिगा के नाम पर कोई जगह का नाम रखने के बदले, मेट्रो स्टेशन का नाम रखने के बदले, जन भावनाओं का सम्मान करने के बदले, वहां पर जिस प्रकार से एक नाम रखा जा सकता है छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज के नाम पर, वो करने के बदले अब जो ये पॉलिसी अपनाई जा रही है, क्या उद्धव ठाकरे जी इससे एग्री करते हैं? क्या वहां के बाकी के लोग इससे एग्री करते हैं? क्या वो उनको जवाब देना चाहिए.
Well, let's also listen in to what the Deputy Chief Minister of the state of Karnataka, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, had to say on the matter.
We'll just discuss it. There is a request. There is nothing wrong in the request. We'll take up a call on that. We'll just discuss it. There is a request. There is nothing wrong in the request. We'll take up a call on that.
So coming back to you, Neha, one, of course, that Mr. Basavangauda Patil has been expelled. However, the rest of the members of the BJP appear to be of the same view, which is why we had Mr. Shehzad Poonawala respond the way he did, criticizing this particular move to even suggest renaming the metro station after St. Mary. But you were, of course, giving us an important perspective, Neha, about what the mood on the ground in Shivaji Nagar is over this particular suggestion. What do the people in Shivaji Nagar have to say about the suggestion that has come forth?
Yes, so that's absolutely. A little while earlier, we were, of course, bringing you visuals of, this very place called Shivaji Nagar, where the metro station, of course, is... of course, this is a very, culturally diverse area as far as, of course, the various communities here are concerned. You'd quite literally be able to see a mosque, a church and a temple all concentrated in just a span of 1 kilometer. You have, of course, peacefully for the past many years now. And when we pose this question to, of course, area, they've all welcomed the decision now, saying that the Saint Basilica here in Nagar is something that's iconic, that represents this area, and most importantly, of course, that it's a welcome decision that the Chief Minister has announced that permission would be taken from the centre to name this very metro station the St. Mary's Metro Station. As far as the opposition now, of course, is concerned, we'll talk about that. There's quite a divided opinion that's come in from netizens and from social media users here. Many who are critiquing this, stating that it should be named after Shivaji, or the fact that it should be named after veteran Kannada actor Shankar Nag. But as far as the BJP is concerned as well, they've of course called this out, saying that it's nothing but trying to appease the Christian community here. Remember, of course, it's not just Peter Machado, the Archbishop of Bengaluru, who's of course recommended this, but many people in and around this entire area that we tried speaking with, locals as well, traders, residents who've lived in this area for many decades now, have all welcomed this decision, stating that, rightfully so, the metro station should be named. We'll really, of course, have to wait and see as the public and the Janta's opinion over this remains divided. Politics around this issue far from over.
Absolutely. We'll, of course, await some more reactions on this developing story. Thanks for that, Neha. Let's also, in fact, listen into what the Chief Minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah, had to say about all this.
ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಇಳಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ನಿಜವಾದ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ನಿಜವಾದ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂನ್ಸಿಯವರು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ನಾನು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಶಿಫಾರಸು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನ.
Well, coming back to you, Neha, what's the reaction coming in from members of the JDS, for example, which happens to be an ally of the BJP? They often don't see eye to eye on many issues as well. So is this one such issue? Has there been any reaction forthcoming from them? And do you see this matter escalating at all, given that this appears to have actually divided the polity in Karnataka?
Well, so that so far the JDS, of course, hasn't particularly reacted on this issue, but, often as far as issues, particularly political ones, that in the state of Karnataka are concerned, we've seen, while many a time the JDS, of course, sees eye to eye with the BJP on political aspects, there have been times when the JDS, of course, has broken off separately and taken a stand quite polar or quite opposite to what, the BJP, of course, has. As far as this particular decision, of course, right now is concerned, given that it's still a proposal at this stage, the JDS so far hasn't reacted to it. We'll really have to wait and see, how, of course, they echo the sentiment of the BJP or whether they take a contrary stand as far as, the locals here are concerned, backing this move, whether the JDS here stands with the locals.
Right. Thanks for that, Neha. Now, the Bharatiya Janata Party, of course, has been raising questions as to why consider the name of St. Mary for this up-and-coming metro station at all. They've, of course, equated this with minority appeasement as far as the ruling dispensation in Karnataka is concerned. Those who are advocates of the naming of the station after St. Mary have actually said that Shivaji Nagar happens to be a very culturally diverse neighborhood with many different religions represented within that area or constituency. So why really create a fuss about the name that's been suggested by the Karnataka Chief Minister? The name change, of course, also has the endorsement of the Archbishop of Bengaluru as well. But we do see this controversy now escalating, with the Bharatiya Janata Party, of course, taking a diametrically opposite view. Now, there's another controversy brewing in the state of Karnataka, and this is pertaining to Mr. G. Parameshwara, who happens to be the Home Minister of the state. He has attended an event that's been organized by the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, which is the student